Welcome back to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense, baby.
Nice,
we were
dude.
just recording for, luckily, only 20 seconds before we realized we weren't recording.
Well, there's a two-factor recording. It's like record, and it's like, you sure you want to start recording? And I wasn't sure until you mentioned it. It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. It's I was saying you're snuffleup. You're sick. You're
September
tired.
9th, 2024. Yeah,
Actually,
Snuffleupagus, tired, broken finger, broken elbow.
We're going to get into all of it. We're going to get into all of it here at the Smart Nonsense Podcast. I was meeting with the Smart Nonsense Shorts team last week.
CEO?
And CEO, booting that up. Don't have anything to say for it just yet. And there's an incessant beeping in your background, but that's okay, dude, because I am really good at this job and I can ignore it. And anyway, I was talking to Ken, who edits this podcast, and he said he just finished a pod from February. So,
right on time.
7 months behind, and things are as they ever were.
Yeah, that's round up to a year. Hope he finishes before the 2021 recap gets out. Dude, that video was so late that I just turned it into a 5-year release. Like we finished it in 2022, and I'm like, I can't release the 2021 recap in 2022. But however, the math works, so I just fucking time capsuled for 5 years.
So it's scheduled on YouTube to come out.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, guess I got to lean
7.
into it being late and make it 5 years late.
That'll be fascinating.
It's also like a 3-hour episode, and I don't think it's very good. But, time capsule. Not that it matters. But I might come back to YouTube, dude.
That'd
really
be lovely. Might. Actually, one of my 2-year time capsules just went out about 2 weeks ago. Actually, no, that was about a month ago now. I don't know where the time is going. And... well, I have on my list of to-dos to make the rebuttal to that and do a new 2-year time capsule. But I haven't really decided if I'm actually gonna. Gonna?
Oh, yeah, gonna sounded weird.
Gonna. You have any opinion on that? Should I make the next 2-year time capsule?
Well, yeah, you should. I mean, I don't know. I always like it because that time capsule is interesting because we know the context of it was right before we cracked. It was kind of like in the lows of the lows. Because we had like 20 animators that we accidentally hired and didn't know what to do with.
Oh, right. That was filmed like 2 to 4 weeks before we went viral. We figured out how to go viral.
Literally
right
before.
I was in my old studio and we had just pivoted to the anti-agency where we were selling what? Like, we'll get you 1 million views or your money back. Something like that. But we had never actually...
We couldn't do that because we'd never got 1 million views. You gotta remember, we were getting...
that was after. Anti-agency was just...
we were just fucking bitches, and we're like, we're not getting on the phone with you to suck this anti-agency. We made 10 animations we made 10 commandments,
and our website went... you could toggle from black to white, agency or anti-agency.
It was so sick in theory. In practice, it was dumb, and it crashed and burned a week later. But it's just fun. Like, I like that we got the context. We know that was right before things started taking off. And now we're feeling things starting to heat up in terms of like actually selling things because we have someone that cares about making money running the business, which is awesome.
The cogdice of what you said and how you said it, polar opposites. You're like low T6 snuffleupagus. Yeah. But that's all right. We heard the words.
Yeah, dude. Well, yeah. Because, dude, I'm like the fucking rich, spoiled kid that just doesn't want to do anything at all, ever. I'm just sick.
Look at how you're sitting.
We're writing well, I'm sitting like this because I realized if I don't sit like this, I'm a little bit lower, like I'm slouching, and my tripod's fucked up, so I gotta like be a little bit taller in the screen, and I figured crisscross applesauce makes me taller a little bit.
You better be careful opening up, Pop. I got the giggles right now. They just hit because I'm thinking about you with Gary the Snail in your content closet.
Dude, I think I gotta shut it all down. I mean, I just don't know, dude.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's like, well, you're Sisyphus, right? So, because
Well,
you like to explore and wander. Anytime you sit down to do work, like to put pen to paper, easy. We could talk about the finger. It's like, well, it's Sisyphus. It's like you have no momentum. It's like the first time you're doing anything.
I'm still riding that high of finishing that short a week ago. That's the only thing
Which you said
keeping me
was the
together.
hardest thing you've ever done in your life. It was write a
It's
short.
like 100 words. Dude, I told you about in 4th grade when we had a homework assignment that was write 3 to 5 sentence paragraph on like this book we're reading, and I
Yeah.
bawled my eyes out. I just fucking broke down. Like, this is impossible. That's how I felt.
Writing.
It wasn't much longer either. This was like 5 to 7 sentences.
Wait,
For this
why'd you
fucking
break down?
short.
You couldn't think of the
Just
paragraphs
too
to write.
much, dude. I didn't. The first problem was I didn't know what a paragraph was. Like, my old school just didn't. They didn't use that language. So they're like, your homework's to write a paragraph, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. And I just started bawling. Like, dude, do you know what a sentence is? And I'm like, I know what a sentence is. They're like, put 3 of those together, and that's a paragraph. And I'm like, but what about 5? So yeah, dude, it's been a struggle ever since 4th grade
Yeah.
to write sentences.
It's cool
But
because when you do stuff, you're really good at it. Really good at it. But you're also Sisyphus.
yeah, well, I don't know. Fucking I I don't know what I want to do because it's not manual labor either. But like fucking,
Manual labor might solve you.
well, that's what sports is. Just
Yeah.
fucking. That's why I want to be a pro athlete, but I'm not good enough. So I'm just stuck writing VSLs in fucking suicide closet all day. I don't know. Somewhere on the spectrum of like how much you enjoy work, it went from like a 9 out of 10 to like a 2 or 3 out of 10. And I don't know where that happened, but
No,
it's
I'm not
been
sure you ever enjoyed it.
no.
You had to do it to literally eat food.
Yeah.
And then this even happened to me in Italy. Well, what happened to me in Italy is I was gone for 2 weeks, didn't open my laptop once, and the company grew. And I came back from Italy like, oh, I'm not a piece of the puzzle that is needed in that machine.
Yeah.
The thing grew without me. I also had the sniffles that week, and so I was just aimless all week. I was like, what?
It might be the sniffles.
What do I do? And then I promoted myself to CEO of Smart
Oh.
Nonsense again. Maybe you just need a new challenge or a mission.
Well, I did have one last night. Maybe I'll get into that in a second. But I played tennis yesterday. Dude, don't even tell me about the opportunity cost of tennis. Sat around the court for literally 5 hours before we get to court. Not going to talk about it. But one of the guys I was hanging out with, he works at Jane Street, and which is like fucking quant trader, finance, makes a lot of money.
Boutique, like top of the top.
It rips. It's like a Citadel sort of vibe. And he's just like, I'm like, what are you trying to do? Like, you like that? You want to do it? He's like, I don't know. It's like pretty good, but I'm not that ambitious, so I'll probably just do it for 15 years then retire.
Oh.
I'm like, that's kind of something about like, there's this world of like townies that stay at home, and we like know they're not ambitious, but this is like
driven, like driven townie.
Yeah, or like not whatever the opposite of a townie is, like a fucking all-star scholar, just without ambition. Like, I don't know. I'm used to like brown people always being ambitious, and this guy's kind of like, nah, it's like good enough. Let's just fucking rip this forever. And so I'm like, I really like that. And that's where I'm like, man, don't think we need much money yet.
Well, it sounds like you're probably might be putting the cart before the horse here, but it sounds like you'd probably be better off if you had a house with a tennis court.
I don't need
So you
that
don't
though.
have to sit at the courts for 5
Like,
hours.
yeah. Well,
Dude,
here's what I need.
okay, go ahead.
Um,
You're just like the way you're sitting, you're just monk. You're just a monk, dude. Enigma
um,
monk doesn't need anything, doesn't want to do anything,
dude,
denounces all drugs, all well, not pleasure, that's for sure.
uh, it's a real this podcast because I'm the host has turned into my therapy sessions that get released 7 months later. So fucking sick 2025 therapy session we're having. No, I don't think I need that because like my average costing house in my hometown was right across from sick public courts and could play there whenever, and a beach was right next to it. It's like that doesn't cost more than $1 million. It's like that's not that much. Um, but what I do need is a wife. So I have some
Oh,
ideas for that. So
why not?
that
Let's hear it.
well, my notebook's over there. It's chock full, dude. Back when I was physically able to use a
My
pen
light
and
just
paper.
broke. Sorry, continue. It just crumpled like in half, like something broke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you want to tell me about your finger?
No, I mean your light was really interesting too. If you want to keep talking. Finger was working back then. I just I got thinking more about the two birds and one stone and this like this idea of how do you get into like the best nightclub in New York City as like a interview question, thought provoking. And it's like the
Well,
only real
for people who haven't been listening to the last 6 months of released episodes, do you want to
uh,
talk about what
well,
that question is?
yeah, this guy Jeremy Giffen, he's fucking like our age, but he makes a lot of money as an investor, and he's like one of my favorite interview questions is, "Hey Henry, uh, there's this really cool nightclub, One Oak in New York City. You want to get in there? Really hard to get in there, especially when you're a no name. How do you get in?" And then it's just like work through like the little back doors, a little like, oh, I'm gonna look up the guy that owns it on Instagram and figure out where he likes to eat, and then go there and like meet him, and then be like, oh, can we get a table, whatever. So my version of that is like our videos, where it's one thing that we're really good at that most people aren't, can go viral. So I'm back to like my crazy thing of like, okay, somehow videos gotta go to wife because she's my one oak. So how do I get in there? And I mean, I don't know how far, dude. What's also funny is I wanted this to be about Baghdad, but fucking sounds like it's gonna be another episode for that. But
New York bad dag or the Azores?
no, Baghdad, but no one knows about New York Baghdad.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking declassified or classified. Point is, I
Two birds.
think two birds, one stone. If I don't know how strong of a driver money is for me, unclear. But what is a driver is wife. Uh, that feels stronger at least. And so if my shorts somehow lead to wife, which I think it might come down to an explicit call to action.
Saying.
I really it's a fine line between this might be full blown and
Well,
like really cringy. There's somehow I think I can finesse this line of where it's like funny and creative and like people like it, where it's like looking for a wife :DylanJarden.com, and then you go to DylanJarden.com and it's like a real brief like funny one pager written in our smart nonsense style of like, hey, wife's really important, but no one really finds the right person. So this is my mission, but like in a funny way. Like that was fucking not funny. And then I need you to be a pro at tennis. And then a couple other things. And then fucking leave something there.
Your
Leave your
resume
Instagram
and
or something.
CV.
I don't know.
Huh.
But then in theory, at least every time we get 1 million views on a short, it's like, wow, 1 million people saw this thing, and who the fuck's crazy enough to do that? And then it's kind of
Well,
maybe it spreads in a good way or bad way.
What I'm worried is the people you're gonna filter for with a CTA like that are not gonna
Yeah.
be who you want.
Right.
Look at me, the guy with all the views. I need a wife. Send your resume.
And you're saying that's gonna
It's bold.
filter for weirdos?
I think you're gonna get a lot of weirdos. But
Yeah.
the good
Well,
old-fashioned way, I think, if you just do dope things, kind of like in business where we don't network, we just make dope stuff, and then that attracts the people we
But
want to be around.
I think my problem is like there's a very specific tennis. I want a good tennis player.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so how does video help me with that? But I don't really want to make my content like, here's how the fucking Hawkeye and US Open works, and then like just make a bunch of shorts about tennis. And then fucking that's gonna attract tennis
So that's your
audience.
main thing, tennis?
Well, tennis is the like ultimate fucking therapy session, dude. I wanna spend a lot of time with this person. Okay. And one things that I like spending time on is sports. It's the thing. So what sports can I play with a person? Probably not gonna play hockey. Probably not gonna play. Do I play any sports? I don't know if I play any sport. I don't like soccer that much. But like the one that has a lot of overlap in the Venn diagram of Dylan and girl sports is tennis. It's like, okay, tennis is it. I've been hitting with this girl that played on varsity at Brown. And it's fucking sick. Like it's really cool. So I'm like, dude, if I could just do that every day, wife, like that is, dude.
But remember 6 months ago when you were saying the exact same things, but you wanted to do a business together.
No, I also want that.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's kind
So
of
then
hard.
maybe don't
But
just sort for tennis.
no, well, tennis is like, that's why it's like Ivy League tennis player, because they're probably gonna be smart. Like this girl I'm hitting with, fucking went to Brown, so she's smart too. Not gonna date this girl because she got a boyfriend, and also not necessarily my type. But that's not too hard. I think that would work. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But the one thing, if there is some way of finessing that, because otherwise I'm like, why am I making shorts just to get views? I don't really care about that. And it's not like we're getting invited to go to things really. Like
Long game though. Right, we're like
maybe. But
2
I want a
years
wife
in.
in like 2 years.
Well, I don't know if it's short. I don't
Maybe
know.
3.
I don't know about date on the shorts to wife pipeline.
No one's get dated. That's
Well,
why I'm
right.
like,
It's the new
fucking maybe I'm the
frontier.
psycho that does it.
Um,
Filters for psychos, but maybe it doesn't have to. So maybe that's how I get back into things. I don't know.
it's interesting. I think it's worthy.
But I got hockey just started. Well, that's why I broke my finger last night, because I had 2 games doubleheader.
So what
No
happened
big deal.
there?
Some guy just slashed me. Fucking
You had gloves on?
hard in the hand. I had gloves on, but it still fucking broke my finger. I'm just nursing it. And that sucks too, because now I can't. I had a bunch of tennis and hockey matches this week.
Can't do any of them?
Yeah, now I gotta write VSLs, and I can't fucking do that. So, did you want to talk about anything? God damn, I had.
No, this is really good. This is good for me. CEO of Smart Nonsense, as I come in and get the machine back on the tracks to infinity and beyond. It's good to hear we have a wrinkle in the pipeline, which is the shorts to wife pipeline. Something that will be figured out.
Yeah.
No, Gardeloo.
Lou. Ugh. Fuck, dude.